All right, guys, we are back with some more boxing updates. And we're back on this Canelo Alvarez, David Benavidez situation, guys. And I got to admit, it's getting quite intriguing with the back and forth between the two camps. The stuff with the 55 million that was offered, allegedly offered, I would say, to Canelo Alvarez. Some of you guys didn't like that when I talked about it. Some of you guys were triggered by it. You know, some of the Canelo Alvarez fans accusing me of, not, criticizing other fighters. But here's the thing. I criticize every fighter when I don't have, when I see something I don't like. Some guy on my wall was talking about I don't keep the same energy for Gervonta Tank Davis. That's how I know he doesn't watch my videos, because I've been on Gervonta Tank Davis's head ever since the shenanigans going on with Devin Haney, going on with Conor Ben. You only get triggered when I mention Canelo Alvarez because you're not a fan of the sport. You're a fan of Canelo Alvarez. So I'm going to keep pointing that out to you people who do that on my channel here. I really don't care, to be honest. I'm just going to keep doing what I do here. But I just want to point that out. I know who you guys are. I know who you guys are. But anyway, let's get into this. Like I said, the situation is getting a little bit more intriguing. And David Benavidez' father, Jose Benavidez Sr., was on The Boxing Voice with Nestor Gibbs. And shout out to The Boxing Voice. He said that they were given an offer. They were offered from Canelo Alvarez. So let's get into this article. I'm going to read it, catch you guys up to speed on it, and I'm going to give my opinion on what I think about this whole situation. So here's a quote here. It says, I got a call from Samson Lukowicz. I guess that's David Benavidez's manager. And he said the camp for Canelo Alvarez wanted to take the fight with David Benavidez. But the only way they would take the fight is if we would take the minimum. And I said, sure, no problem. We just want the opportunity to fight, said Jose Benavidez Sr. To The Boxing Voice about Team Canelo contacting him with a fight with David. It says, either way, if we get to this fight, things are going to get better anyway. And that's the truth. Usually when you fight, the big name opponent is going to put a spotlight on you. It says, it doesn't matter if we lose or win. We're willing to take the opportunity. We said yes to it, and then Munguia and Canelo disappeared. Was Team Canelo just testing the resolve of Benavidez with their brief negotiations? It's impossible to say for sure. It's more likely that Canelo had different fighters he was negotiating with at the same time, and someone else was the better deal for him. I think they just wanted to test us. This is Jose Benavidez Sr. I think they just wanted to test us to see if I was going to ask for more money. Then they could say they did offer us, but we wanted more money. We were willing to take the minimum. David right now makes more money fighting other people than fighting Canelo Alvarez, said Jose Sr. I think everybody starts at 5.5 million as a Canelo opponent, and plus they give pay-per-view buys and all that. I wanted him, Canelo, to take all the money he could. He deserves it. He's the face of boxing and the best at 168. He has all the belts and he deserves to take everything. So that was Jose Benavidez Sr. on The Boxing Voice. He said they were offered some money, $5 million. But he said that I think he said something about the offer usually starting at 5.5 million for a Canelo Alvarez opponent. And they pretty much gave him a lowball offer. Now, listening to this, I'm inclined to believe him because this is somewhat of a similar situation with the Bivol negotiations for the second fight. Even though Bivol defeated Canelo Alvarez, they wanted to give him a lowball offer for the second fight. And that fight didn't happen, which leads me to believe that Canelo Alvarez really didn't want the fight. He said he wanted Bivol in a rematch. He wanted to avenge his loss, but, he lowballed him. So he made sure the fight didn't take place because he really didn't want that smoke. So listening to this and seeing that last time leads me to believe, in my opinion, in my opinion, that he doesn't want to fight David Benavidez. He doesn't want to face David Benavidez. It's quite apparent. And I know that's going to trigger some of you guys, but, you know, it is what it is. You know, the best competition should be facing the best competition. The best competition for Canelo Alvarez, who is the undisputed champion at 168, is David Benavidez, the Mexican Ecuadorian monster, who is a two-time WBC champion, who is Canelo Alvarez's mandatory challenger. The fight that the fans are calling for, the fight that the peers are calling for. This is what people want to see. And if Canelo Alvarez, who always talks about, you know, giving the fans what they want, if he really wants to give the fans what they want, then why not fight this guy? Why not give him his opportunity? He deserves his opportunity. You know, I've seen him fight guys who really didn't deserve it at all. So why can't he give the opportunity to this guy? And the only reason I can think of is that he fears him. He fears David Benavidez. He has to. He has to fear him. They gave him a lowball offer. They didn't hear back from him. You know, he doesn't want to. He always says that David hasn't done anything, which is not true. They both have a same opponent in common, which is Caleb Sweethand's Plant. They both fought that guy. They both won the fight. What's the holdup? Why not give the fans what they want? You hear the fans out here. I know he hears them. But for some reason, he doesn't want to face him. Now, he'll face, you know, guys like Jamal Charlo, which is the fight that I think he wants. Whether or not we're going to get that fight come May, we'll have to see. I don't know about the Munguia situation. We know that the PBC, well, I'll say allegedly the PBC wanted him to face Munguia next if they couldn't get the David Benavidez fight. Now, the PBC, of course, I'm sure they want him to face David. They signed the guy to a 3-fight deal to face the best competition. That's the best fight. They're going to make the most revenue from that fight. So why not, you know, I'm sure that's what they were pushing for. I'm sure that's what they were pushing for. But Canelo Alvarez doesn't want to take the risk because it's a risky fight. But you're the face of boxing. When you're the face of boxing, you know, you're expected to do certain things, like fight the best competition out there. That's what boxing is about, facing the best competition. And I think we've just got away from that. But that's my take on it, guys. I know some of you guys are going to be triggered by it. You always are. You always are, because, like I said, you're not a fan of the sport. You're just a fan of Canelo Alvarez. And you think that I have some type of agenda. You're going to accuse me of that. But, you know, it is what it is. It's staring you in the face. I'm not making any of this up. You know, it is what it is. He's not facing David Benavidez. You know, they're jumping through all these hurdles. That fight could be easily made. They're both signed to the same network right now. Why can't that fight be made? He's a mandatory challenger. Why is Canelo Alvarez being stripped since he doesn't want to face his mandatory? You guys let me know what you think about it in the comment section. It's the CMB. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. And I'm out. Peace.